Welcome to another episode of Know Your E&O. I'm Cari, Senefsky, the Director of Professional Liability here at IIAT, and I'm sitting with
Gunnar, Kephart. I work in the E&O department with Cari and the rest of the staff.
We thought we'd get started today knowing that both spring and summer are quickly upon us, and we all know that in Texas that means the arrival of stormy, unpredictable, yet predictable weather. And with that comes increased property damage claims. So we thought we'd spend a little bit of time talking about E&O risk management for personal lines in particular. And in the next segment, we'll spend a little time on commercial lines only. So our objective today is just kind of look at and describe some E&O exposures that you may have in your book of business, help you identify those, and then also come up with some ideas to minimize those risks in your offices. So first off, hot on the list is hail claims. For homeowners policies in particular, the big question is the coverage replacement cost or actual cash value or ACV? So, or a combination where the recovery is calculated on the age of the roof. So those are just things to kind of know within your book. The agent's defense in any type of claim like this is that the client has been clearly communicated with how a hail damage claim would be calculated. And if you have an example of that, that's always helpful, so it's clearly defined. And then how it would be settled. So what are the carriers going to look at for that? A related item to go along with that is there any cosmetic damage exclusion in the policy? We've seen some pretty large E&O claims where people are putting on those nice metal or tile roofs. And when those get denied because if there's a cosmetic damage exclusion in the policy, that obviously is a pain point for your insureds. So again, just clearly communicating the meaning of the exclusion if it exists, and obviously if you can get it removed, try that too. And all in all, documentation is key in these types of situations. What's been communicated to the insured? Have they signed off? Do they understand? Can you point to some type of written documentation about that if you get pulled into a claim? Another item, Gunnar, what do you think about flood?
Flood is a perennial problem. Over the years, I've seen agents actually move towards excellence in their documentation for exclusions for flood. The last hurricane didn't produce, in Houston, didn't produce as many E&O claims arising out of flood, and a lot of the E&O underwriters have stated it's because agents have finally started documenting their files correctly, communicating with their insureds, making sure that the insureds understand and agree that their homeowner's policy does not cover flood. If you want flood, you have to have your own standalone policy. The common underlying E&O exposure is revealed by catastrophes. Policies that auto-renew present E&O claims opportunities by the lack of underwriting information. In other words, if there isn't a regular way to update the exposures the clients have, then we're going to have claim denials, and from those claim denials come E&O claims. We all know property exposures change over time, and it's important for the agency to be aware of them. We see E&O claims arise from property claim denials from the change of occupancy that's not documented to the insurance carrier. We had a case where an adjuster showed up to appraise a hail damaged roof to find out the original occupant has moved away and a relative now lives in the home. That homeowner's claim got denied. Lots of times the mailing address of an insured has changed and the notice of cancellation never got delivered. That creates an E&O claim. Finally, extensive renovations or additions have been made to a residence, but not communicated to the insurance carrier. Increases the value of the dwelling and may not be covered if the policy isn't updated. The agency needs to put in place a method of updating the client's underwriting information, particularly the contact information, and hopefully a more extensive way to capture changes in exposures. A lot of agents will do an annual or semi-annual mailing with an information form, and some put a website page on their website that the client can access to update their information. Again, all communication must be documented with the client. That's your get out of jail card.
Yeah, there's a common theme in all of these. Documentation is absolutely key. So with this discussion, we're hoping that that kind of prompts some internal conversations within your agencies. One, take the time to take a look at those exposures, especially as the season is upon us. Identify maybe which clients that you need to connect with. Again, just to re-clarify some information for them in preparation for any storms that might come through. And at the end of the day, if you have any questions for us here at IIAT specifically related to this or E&O claims in general, we're here for you. So please pick up the phone, give us a call, send us an email. We'd love to hear from you.